Caro's life began with struggle. She grew up as an orphan in a small Nigerian village, with no parents to guide her. She worked as a house help in miserable conditions. After a huge fight broke out in her family, Caro decided to flee. She had no one left, no support, and no real way forward. She ended up in a city, where she met a man who seemed like a savior. He became her boyfriend and promised her something that sounded like a dream, a chance to work in Europe. He said his sister owned a supermarket there and could get Caro a good paying job. Caro, hoping for a new beginning, agreed to go. But that decision changed her life in the worst possible way. Caro was about to be trapped in one of the darkest situations anyone could face. She didn't know she was being trafficked, sold into a world of abuse and exploitation. The man she trusted led her straight into the hands of human traffickers. Before she knew it, she was in Libya, forced into prostitution, and told she had to walk off a debt she didn't even owe. If she refused, she was beaten. Caro's life had turned into a nightmare. Every day was filled with fear and pain. One of the worst moments in her journey happened when she got pregnant. Sadly, while attempting to cross the Mediterranean Sea in an overloaded boat, she lost the baby. The conditions were terrible, people packed together with no space to move. The boat was leaking, and passengers were frantically bailing water to keep it from sinking. After 15 hours at sea, they were finally rescued, but Caro's ordeal had left her physically and emotionally shattered. This wasn't even the first time Caro had been pregnant. Back in Libya, she had already miscarried once due to the horrific abuse she endured. She had been forced to live in a brothel, beaten if she didn't comply, and left with no way out. Her life was like living in hell. At one point, the place where she was held was attacked, and she was taken to prison. But if she thought prison would be an escape, she was wrong. It was even worse. In prison, Caro and other women were constantly abused. She saw women die from neglect, some even giving birth in the horrible conditions. Caro tried to escape twice. The first time, she was recaptured and brutally beaten. The second time, she found a way out and joined others trying to cross the Mediterranean again. That's when she had her second miscarriage on that overcrowded boat. Now, Caro is in a reception center in Italy. She is safe but still recovering from the trauma she went through. Despite everything, she's a survivor. She says that her journey has taught her how strong she is, even though it's been filled with unimaginable pain. Why am I sharing Caro's story? Because stories like hers are happening every day. So many women, like Caro, are tricked by the promise of a better life and fall into the hands of human traffickers. We need to remember their stories, share them, and raise awareness about this ongoing tragedy.